Welcome students. In this class we will learn how to use the init method. Now foremost, it is imperative to learn how to use this method in Python because it is a very important method and it functions in the capacity as a constructor in else other languages. Now what does it mean by that? The meaning is this method gets fired the minute the object is created. Simple as that. I'm going to show you in this lesson how exactly we can use the init method to receive input. So foremost, we create the class student info, and then I'm going to create the init method init, and you give double underscore. You start with double underscore, you give double underscore. Now I want to pass in the following argument. So I want to pass in student roll number, student name, and the score for say math, history, art, music, and IT. So all of these subjects are naturally the student is taking. Now how are we going to fire this? We have to send in the input. So for this, foremost, what I'm going to do is I have to assign in the data. There are two ways we can assign the data. One, from the user, we can receive the input from the user. Two, we can pass this information as a parameter. So how are we to do this? Now I'm going to start with the second way, assigning the values in the program. So for that we start by self.roll number is equal to roll number. Now what is the meaning of this? This means I'm using a variable which is called as a class variable. This is the class variable, and to this class variable I am assigning the local variable roll number. Now what exactly does this mean, or in other words, what can this particular line of code do? If you were to use this line of code, then you would be able to use roll number of the student anywhere in the program. Now with this first line of code, I'm going to come out of this method. Say, let me give one more. Let me just say self.name is equal to name. So I've got two assignments here, and then I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to say student, I'm creating the object, is equal to student info. I will give a print statement in the init. I'm going to say print the system, or I would say system is ready to receive input. I'm going to run it. Now you will see what's going to happen. If I were to run it, I'm getting errors. Now you see this? So it says that all of the 7 required arguments are needed. So it wants us to provide all of this, not one, not two. Now just in case if I am only using first 1 and 2, so let me just take off these and then give in the data for just 1 and 2. So I'm taking the rest away. I'm only giving data for 1 and 2. So how are we going to supply it? So remember, whenever you are including parameters, these are variables, you can call them variables or parameters, you will have to supply the data. That's the way it works. In the case of roll number, I'm going to take it as a number, an integer quantity. So I'm going to say 1 to probably 0, 1, 9, and then I'm going to give a name. Name is going to be a string. So I'm going to say Chloe. Now values for the attributes are already given. So now I'm running it. So now you will see. So there is no issue. So the underlying point is, if you create the init method and if you are placed in the arguments, the variables inside, and if you fail to supply it, then an exception will be thrown. On the other hand, if I were to take this off, you watch here, I'm just going to take it off. I'm just going to retain just as self, and if I'm taking this off, I should also take these two things off, because you see that there is an error there. It says that I have not used these roll number and name, but yet they are featuring here, so there is an error here. So I need to take these things also off. So I'm taking this off. So now I should not give any argument inside this. So I'm taking this off. So let me run it. and you will see the system is ready to receive input. So in this case, I have not created any local variables and assigned them to the class variables. So there is no creation of variables here, just the init method is triggered. So first let me just replace all the thing that I took. So I have taken all these things away. I'm replacing these things back. If I want to print the student name along with the roll number, then I should come over here. Remember, that can only be done using the object. So I'm going to say print. The object used is student. I want to print the student name, and then I want to print the student roll number. So let me do that. So this is going to be student roll number. Now if you were to run this, you won't have any issues at all. You see that? Now you can make it a little bit appearable. You can simply say name, and then you give a concatenation there. In this case, you can say roll number, and then you give a concatenation and convert it into string, because this is an integer that we have used. So now it's good to go. You run this, you get the output like this. So that's fine. So this is how you assign the data first through the or to the init method, and then you use that data in this fashion. So we have achieved our objective. The objective is how to use the init method to assign values to the attributes. Now this is one way to assign, but I can also assign it in other way. What I'm going to do, using the self.roll number, I am going to create input from the user. When you are creating input from the user, take away these attributes. Just you declare these two variables in this fashion, and then say input, please enter the student roll number. That's it. This will receive the input, and the second one simultaneously you copy it, and then you paste it, and then you say please input the student name. So we have got these two things, and I don't need this print statement. I can state that I can simply give you a print student record. So we are receiving two inputs here, but the question is, how are we going to get it printed? This is a init method, and we are receiving the input here, and over here I'm just printing out the values here. Now when we are printing out the values, I am actually using the object to get it printed. So let me run it and show you the output. So it says student record, please enter the roll number. So I'm going to enter, say, C120129. This is the roll number of the student and the name of the student, and it says name Chloe, roll number 120129 with a C in the front. So this is how we receive the input from the user and we get the values printed. Now instead of printing it over here, I can very well print it right over here. I don't have to use the object to print the information here. Now how to achieve that? Now just get rid of this, go over here and simply use the print statement. So print, say roll number, and then come over here and then give a concatenation sign, and then you say self dot roll number. Easy as it is. And then you come here again, say print name, and then you say self dot name. Now you don't need to do any conversion because they are all string, and the moment you create this object, this method will get fired. So you don't even have to call it. So you see that? Print, please enter the student roll number. I'm going to say C. So roll number, name, and it gets printed. So this is how you use the init method. Students, thank you.